Your chief political strategist, David Axelrod, causing some commotion out there today with his comments about Hillary Clinton and blaming her, at least some are interpreting it this way, blaming her in part for a series of events that resulted in Benazir Bhutto's assassination today. Let me read to you what he said.
I have to.
I'll read to you.
I don't need to hear what you read because I overheard it when he said it, and this is one of those situations where Washington is putting a spin on it.
All right,
it makes no sense whatsoever.
Tell us what he meant.
He was asked very specifically about the argument that the Clinton folks were making that somehow this was going to change the dynamic of politics in Iowa. Now, first of all, that shouldn't have been the question. The question should be, how is this going to impact the safety and security of the United States, not how is it going to affect a political campaign in Iowa. But his response was simply to say that if we are going to talk politics, then the question has to be who has exercised the kind of judgment that would be more likely to lead to better outcomes in the Middle East and better outcomes in Pakistan. And his argument was simply that Iraq has fanned anti-American sentiment and it took our eye off the ball, to the extent that there are those who are claiming now that their experience somehow makes them superior to deal with these issues. I think it's important for the American people to look at the judgments they've made in the past. And the experienced hands in Washington have not made particularly good judgments when it comes to dealing with these problems. That's part of the reason we are now in this circumstance. He in no way was suggesting that Hillary Clinton was somehow directly to blame for the situation there. That is the kind of, I think, gloss that sometimes emerges out of the heat of campaigns that doesn't make much sense, and I think you're probably aware of that, Wolf.
Well, I know that sometimes comments can be taken out of context, and you're trying to give us the context. I'll just read to you what he said, and then I'm going to let you just respond. She was referring to Hillary Clinton. He said she was a strong supporter of the war in Iraq, which we would submit as one of the reasons why we were diverted from Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Al-Qaeda, who may still have been players in this event today. So that's a judgment she'll have to defend. All right. So I just want to make sure that we're getting the full context.
As I said, all he was simply saying, by the way, in response to a political question about how this would impact Iowa, he was simply making an argument that, in fact, the war in Iraq has not helped us go after al-Qaeda, deal with the terrorists and extremists that threaten America. But again, it's important for us to not look at this in terms of short-term political point scoring. What we have to figure out is, collectively, Republicans, Democrats, all of us, how are we going to deal with these problems over the long term?